At the beginning of the movie, Nathaniel, the CEO of Genesis and a multi-billionaire, talks about a letter he wrote when he was 12. The story is about the planet Mars. Mars has the potential to support human life. For him, living on Mars is the best option for the future because Earth is having a lot of challenges. Nathaniel also says he will show that Mars is more than just a place to visit and that people could live there. Everyone in the room cheers for Nathaniel as he gives his speech. Everything he said seems to be agreed and applauded by everyone. Soon after, he talks about the brave 6 people who are going to fly to Mars. Sarah Elliott, the lead astronaut, is the first person from what they call East Texas to say what she thinks. A reporter asked her, "How does it feel to give up 4 years of life to go to Mars?" She didn't see it as a sacrifice but as a chance. She said that courage is fear that has said its prayers when someone else asked about her fears about going on this historic trip. She gets a standing ovation while people cheer for her answers, which amazes everyone. Everyone runs to get a better look at the Magellan 61, the ship the astronauts will be using. After 2 months, Sarah Elliott starts throwing up, and her coworkers start to worry about her. They later find out that she is pregnant. They have a meeting and decide to hide the baby from everyone and let it live on Mars. Sarah Elliott suddenly died after giving birth to her baby. Because of his conditions, Tom tells the baby can't live on Earth. The team is worried about it and trying to figure out what to do. Nathaniel is ready to risk everything and bear all the responsibility. Tom reveals Nathaniel's situation, which prevents him from going to Mars. They create as many ideas as possible. They definitely can't keep it a secret and let the baby live on Mars. Nathaniel is upset about how their meeting worked out, so he goes for a walk by himself to think about what happened. Nathaniel went to his rocket ship and tried to go to space, but he failed, and everyone died. Lucky for him, it's just a computer-generated rocket ship that he uses to get ready to go to space soon. 16 years later, Gardner is talking to his best friend, Centaur, a machine with some fundamental artificial intelligence. As they talk, Gardner asks Centaur to make him a map of the way to the storage facility in East Texas through the ventilation system. However, Centaur refused to give him the map. Because of this, Gardner cuts Centaur's wire to stop him from operating. After doing it, he was about to do something else when Kendra sent him a message. He quickly ran to his duty area to respond. He tries to hide the fact that he is late by using a microscope, but he doesn't know that Kendra saw him running late to his area. Gardner goes ahead with his plans after everything. He moves along by using the airflow to get to the storage facility. He is able to get everything he needs and is successful. While checking his mother's belongings, he finds a flash drive. Intrigued, he opens it and sees a video of her mom with a guy. Since they look so good together, Gardner thinks it must be his dad. He prints out a screenshot of their picture, then opens his laptop and talks to Tulsa, his only friend on Earth. Gardner says that he wants to go to her place but can't because of his illness, but Tulsa later starts to doubt this. She tells him goodbye when the bell rings because her lab class is over. Kendra comes knocking on Gardner's door while he is watching a movie. Gardner starts to explain what will happen in the story and share some of his thoughts. Kendra finds about his romantic side later on. Without telling anyone, Gardner sneaks out of the place to visit his mother's grave. Because he is sad, he loses control while driving and causes an accident. Fortunately, Kendra tracks him down and rescues him. Kendra finally tells him off for what he did, but Gardner says he has a good reason. He wants to see his mother's grave. Gardner says, "A scientist raised me in bubble," when Kendra asks him how he was able to pull off this plan. He goes into his room and locks the door, but Kendra knocks and tells him that the thing he saw outside was just a medal. The truth is that his mother's ashes are thrown into the Pacific Ocean. In the next scene, Tom unexpectedly goes to see Nathaniel to talk about Gardner. While Kendra and Tom try to convince Nathaniel to send the boy back to Earth, he still won't sign the paper for his own reasons and his own benefit, even though it is an awful plan. As Gardner works, Kendra calls his attention to tell him the good news. They've found a cure, so he can go live on Earth. He tells Tulsa this news because he is so happy about it. Gardner's cleverness led him to create a plan that will make him happy on Earth. He steals his coworker's money from his storage unit and keeps it for something else. The ship arrives successfully. Gardner is now on Earth, and the sight of water amazes him. Gardner has problems that make him feel heavy and make it hard for him to walk. He still can't go outside and enjoy nature, and he has to stay in the quarantine until he gets better. When Nathaniel walks into the room, he is very happy to see him. They begin to talk about small things and ask each other random questions about Earth and Mars. Gardner sets the pressure to work on the emergency sounds while Kendra is away from him so that everyone will think there is an emergency and be able to get away easily. Nathaniel and Kendra try to follow him even though they know it's not an emergency. Despite all the things that could see him, he still gets away by hiding in the truck. Gardner enjoys his time on Earth. People laugh at him because he is so foolish and thinks he's crazy. For some reason, he finds a way to be with Tulsa. Suddenly, she's angry and slaps him because he's leaving her for months. Tulsa doesn't know anything at this time, but Gardner doesn't give up and is still after her. He even goes to Tulsa's class and gives great answers during the lessons, which impresses everyone there. Gardner tells Tulsa everything after class, but she doesn't believe him and turns him down. He tells Tulsa more about his current circumstances, and she gives him a chance and lets him stay at her house by riding her motorcycle. But Nathaniel and Kendra are already there to get him because the system found Tulsa's address. They know Gardner will only go there. Even though they want to save Gardner from harm, Gardner refuses to go with them and escape. Luckily for him, Tulsa wants to help him, so she takes off in her biplane. But something goes wrong on their trip, and they are lucky to be alive because they jump out of the biplane before it lands and blows up. Still, they were able to find out where his father was by surfing the web. She does everything she can to help him get to Arizona at this point. Even though Gardner thinks it's wrong, they steal someone's car. It's the only and fastest way to do it, so he has no choice. Tulsa takes him to a mall to buy clothes and stuff they need. They drive right to their destination after shopping and talk. They chose to rest somewhere because they were in a faraway place. While Gardner is enjoying the fire, Tulsa walks up to him, tells him to close his eyes, and starts to give him a tight hug. Because of these, Gardner is confused about how she became more beautiful in just 20 seconds. Tulsa thanks him, but she also asks him straight out if he wants to kiss her. However, Gardner doesn't know how to do it because kissing hasn't been common on Mars. Tulsa tries to help him, so they do it. They spend the rest of the night on their camping bed under the stars, which is a great place to be. Having fun with a romantic and enjoyable activity that Gardner does for the first time. The next day, they were sitting on a cliff when a girl called them. Tulsa told her that they were looking for Shaman Nika. They're very lucky that girl knows where to find Shaman Nika. So far, Shaman Nika has forgotten the name they are asking about. Lucky for them, Shaman Nika kept track of things and found the address. Tulsa takes him somewhere to help him enjoy life more. Gardner isn't sure if what he sees is real. It's even better than he thought it would be, but he keeps getting weaker until he falls. She takes him to the closest hospital. Tulsa can see he is in bad shape, which makes her think that everything Gardner tells him is true. When Gardner suddenly wakes up, Tulsa is about to leave him to go after his father, but Gardner tells her that he needs to come with her for some reason. Tulsa agrees with his reason, so they run away quickly and steal a car once more to get to Summerland. Nathaniel and Kendra are about to get on a plane and follow Gardner. These people are lucky because their technology is very advanced and can find where they are. At last, they reached their last destination. It's windy, but the atmosphere is great. When the sun is bright and the water is rough, Gardner learns to value Earth more. Soon after, they go ahead to see his dad. Here, Gardner gives his picture and starts to introduce himself, but his father doesn't seem to believe him and doesn't seem to trust him. He picks up the phone to call the police, but Tulsa keeps telling him the truth until this man informs her that Sarah Elliott is his sister. Because of his conditions, Gardner's feelings are so impacted by them. It gets more and more serious, so he leaves the house and heads to the water to kill himself. But Tulsa sees him and runs after him. Even though Tulsa really wants Gardner to live, he keeps telling her that there's no reason for him to. Because he thinks his mother is there, he wants to kill himself, but Tulsa is a great companion. The waves are hitting them hard, which makes them lose control as they kiss. Strong waves make it impossible for Tulsa to lift Gardner, but Nathaniel steps in and saves him. At this point, they don't waste any time trying to save him. Gardner, Kendra, and Tulsa get on the ship so Gardner can breathe in the air he used to breathe in. The only way to save Gardner now is to take him into the stratosphere. Soon after, they reach space, and everyone starts to float. Kendra tells Tulsa to wake Gardner up. Gardner wakes up after a few slaps and starts to get stronger again. He finally decided after a few days that the only way to live longer is to go back to Mars. Kendra tells him her last words. Gardner tells her the same thing, saying that she is the best mom he has ever had. It's a heartbreaking moment for both of them, but they have no choice. Before Gardner enters the ship, Tulsa catches him and expresses her love and appreciation for him, while Gardner does the same. Kendra goes to see Tulsa to ask her to move into her big Colorado house. After agreeing, Tulsa later becomes one of NASA's trainees who will be sent to Mars in the future. Gardner still wants to live on Earth, but he realizes that other people want to be in his home, so he gradually appreciates his home and lives on Mars with his father. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.